What if I told you that the greatest marathoner of all time, the only human to ever break the 2-hour marathon barrier, has lessons that can transform your running even if you're nowhere near his level? What if the secrets to Eliud Kipchoge's unprecedented success aren't about talent or genetics, but about principles that any runner at any level can apply starting today? You're about to discover 5 game-changing lessons from the GOAT of marathon running, and the 5th one is going to completely shift how you approach not just running but life itself. But before we dive into the wisdom of the greatest to ever do it, I need you to do something right now. Hit that subscribe button and smash the like button, because what you're about to learn from Kipchoge's philosophy could be the missing piece in your running journey. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's your current running goal? A faster 5K? Your first marathon? A new PR? I want to know what you're chasing, because these lessons are going to help you get there. Welcome to a journey into the mind and methods of Eliud Kipchoge, the man who proved that no human is limited. Prepare to discover why his approach to training, racing, and life transcends running and offers wisdom we can all apply. This isn't about trying to run a sub-2-hour marathon. This is about learning from someone who has mastered his craft at the highest level and extracting the principles that make him extraordinary. Over the next several minutes, you're going to learn 5 specific lessons that Kipchoge embodies, how each one applies to your running regardless of your speed or experience, and the actionable steps you can take to implement these lessons immediately. Before we get started, I need to know where you're watching from. Comment right now with your city or country. I love seeing our worldwide running community come together right here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now so you don't miss content that could transform how you train and race. Let's dive into the brilliance of Eliud Kipchoge. Lesson number 1 from Eliud Kipchoge is something he says constantly and lives every single day. Only the disciplined ones are free in life. If you lack discipline, you are a slave to your moods and passions. Think about that for a second. Kipchoge doesn't run based on how he feels. He doesn't train when he's motivated and skip when he's not. He follows his training plan with unwavering discipline, regardless of external circumstances or internal feelings. Rain or shine, tired or energized, motivated or not, he shows up. This is the foundation of his greatness. Discipline, not talent. Discipline, not motivation. Discipline is what allows him to train at altitude in Kaptagat, Kenya, running 120 to 140 miles per week, year after year, decade after decade. He's not relying on bursts of inspiration. He's relying on the daily commitment to do the work. How does this apply to you? You need to build discipline into your running routine. Stop waiting to feel like running. Stop skipping workouts because you're tired, or the weather is bad, or you don't feel like it. Create a training schedule and treat it like an appointment you cannot miss. When your alarm goes off for your morning run, you get up. When it's time for your speed workout, you do it. No negotiation, no excuses. This doesn't mean ignoring genuine injury or illness. It means distinguishing between legitimate reasons to rest and the mental resistance that tries to keep you comfortable. Kipchoge's discipline has given him the freedom to achieve what was considered impossible. Your discipline, applied consistently over months and years, will give you the freedom to achieve your running goals. It starts with one disciplined decision, then another, until discipline becomes your default. Comment below right now and tell me honestly, are you disciplined with your running, or do you let your mood dictate your training? This is a gut check moment, and acknowledging where you are is the first step to where you want to be. Lesson number 2 is about Kipchoge's mindset during training and racing. He focuses entirely on the process, not the outcome. When he's running a marathon, he's not thinking about the finish line or the time or the record. He's thinking about the current kilometer, the current stride, the current breath. He breaks the race down into the smallest possible segments and focuses only on executing that segment perfectly, then the next one, then the next one. This is called process-oriented thinking, and it's one of the most powerful mental tools an athlete can develop. When you focus on the outcome, you create anxiety. You worry about whether you'll achieve it. You stress about all the things that could go wrong. You're living in the future instead of the present. But when you focus on the process, you're in control. You can't control whether you hit your goal time, but you can control your effort right now. You can control your form right now. You can control your breathing right now. Kipchoge has said in interviews that during his sub-2-hour marathon attempt, he didn't think about breaking 2 hours. He thought about staying with his pacemakers. He thought about maintaining his rhythm. He thought about executing each mile perfectly. The outcome took care of itself because the process was flawless. How do you apply this? Stop obsessing over your race goals during your actual runs and races. Instead, focus on executing your race plan. Focus on hitting your target pace for this mile, not worrying about mile 20. Focus on staying relaxed in your shoulders right now. Focus on keeping your breathing controlled. When you're training, focus on completing the workout as prescribed, not on whether this workout is going to make you faster. Trust that if you execute the process consistently, the outcomes will come. This shift from outcome to process reduces anxiety, increases enjoyment, and paradoxically leads to better results because you're not in your own head sabotaging yourself with worry. Let me give you a practical example of how to implement this. Let's say you're training for a half marathon and your goal is to run it in under 2 hours. During the race, instead of constantly checking your watch and calculating whether you're on pace for sub-2, focus on running each mile at 9:09 pace. That's the process. Each mile, you execute 9:09. You don't think about mile 13. You think about this mile. When doubt creeps in at mile 10, you don't think, can I hold this for 3 more miles? You think, can I run this current mile at 9:09? The answer is yes, so you do. Then you ask the same question for the next mile. Before you know it, you're crossing the finish line under 2 hours because you trusted the process. This is exactly what Kipchoge does on the biggest stages in the world. You can do it too on your local race course. What are you thinking right now? Does this process-focused approach resonate with you? Drop a comment and share your thoughts. I want to hear if this shifts your perspective. Lesson number 3 is about Kipchoge's relationship with training partners and community. He doesn't train alone. Despite being the greatest marathoner in history, he trains with a group in Kenya. He runs with people who are slower than him. He runs with people who are faster than him in certain workouts. He values the community, the camaraderie, and the shared suffering. There's a famous video of Kipchoge running easy miles with his training group, chatting and laughing, clearly enjoying himself. He doesn't view himself as above the group. He's part of it. This humility and community orientation is a huge part of his sustained success. Training partners provide accountability. On the days you don't want to run, knowing someone is waiting for you gets you out the door. They provide pacing. Running with others helps you hit target paces more consistently than running alone. They provide motivation. Seeing others push through pain inspires you to do the same. They provide perspective. Sharing the journey with others reminds you that everyone struggles, even the best. How do you apply this lesson? Find your running community. Join a local running club. Find a training partner or a small group that runs at a similar pace. If there's no one local, join online running communities where you can share your training and get encouragement. Stop trying to do this alone. Running is often portrayed as a solitary sport, and there are beautiful moments of solitude in running. But the best runners understand that community makes you better. It makes the hard days easier. It makes the good days more joyful. Kipchoge, with all his talent and accolades, still chooses to surround himself with a supportive training group. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for you. Even if you're faster or slower than the people. In your community, you benefit from running together. The shared experience creates bonds and accountability that solo running simply cannot provide. Make it a priority this week to find or create your running community. Your future self will thank you. Lesson number 4 is about consistency and patience. Kipchoge's career is a masterclass in long-term development. He didn't become the greatest marathoner overnight. He was a successful track runner first, winning Olympic medals in the $5,000 meters. Then he transitioned to the marathon in his late 20s. His first marathon was in 2013. He didn't win. He came in second, but he learned. He kept working. He kept refining his approach. Over the next decade, He won 15 of his 17 career marathons, set multiple world records, won 2 Olympic gold medals, and broke the 2-hour barrier. That's 10 years of relentless consistency, 10 years of showing up every single day, 10 years of small improvements compounding into historic achievements. He didn't panic when he lost a race. He didn't quit when things got hard. He trusted the process and stayed patient. This is the lesson that most recreational runners desperately need to hear. You're not going to transform in 6 weeks. You're not going to go from a 25-minute 5K to a 20-minute 5K in one training cycle. Real, sustainable improvement takes months and years of consistent training. You need to fall in love with the daily practice of running, not just the race. Results. You need to show up week after week, month after month, trusting that the work is accumulating even when you can't see immediate results. Kipchoge has run over 100,000 miles in his career. Those miles weren't wasted. Every single one contributed to his greatness. Your miles aren't wasted either. Every easy run builds your aerobic base. Every tempo run strengthens your lactate threshold. Every long run expands your endurance. The magic is in the consistency over time, not in any single workout. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop hopping from one training plan to another because you didn't see instant results. Pick a sound training approach and stick with it for 6 months, a year, 2 years. That's when you'll see transformation. Let me tell you something that might relieve some pressure. Kipchoge is in his late 30s now and still at the top of the sport. He's not a young prodigy. He's a veteran who has refined his craft over decades. Your running career doesn't have an expiration date. You can be improving in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. But only if you commit to the long game. Only if you embrace consistency and patience. Stop rushing. Stop expecting immediate gratification. Trust that if you keep showing up, keep doing the work, and keep learning, you will get better. It might take longer than you want, but it will happen. Kipchoge's story proves it. Now think about this. Are you being patient with your running journey, or are you constantly frustrated that you're not improving fast enough? Comment below and be honest. This self-awareness is crucial because impatience leads to overtraining, injury, and burnout. Patience leads to longevity and sustained improvement. Lesson number 5 is the one that's going to hit deepest. It's about Kipchoge's philosophy on life and mindset. He says, the human body is like a tire. If you keep pumping air into it without letting some out, it will burst. You need balance. Despite being the hardest worker in the sport, Kipchoge understands the importance of rest, recovery, and life outside of running. He spends time with his family, he reads books, he tends to his farm, he invests in his community. He's not consumed by running 24/7. This balance is what allows him to sustain elite performance year after year without burning out. Too many runners make running their entire identity. They measure their self-worth by their race times. They feel guilty on rest days. They sacrifice everything for marginal gains. This leads to burnout, injury, and eventually quitting. Kipchoge shows us a better way. Yes, be disciplined. Yes, work hard. But also rest. Also live. Also enjoy life outside of running. How do you apply this? Build recovery into your training plan with the same intentionality as your hard workouts. Schedule rest days and honor them. Don't feel guilty for taking a day off. Your body needs it. Cultivate interests and relationships outside of running. You are not just a runner. You're a complete human being with many dimensions. Let running enhance your life, not consume it. When you have balance, running becomes more joyful. The pressure is off. You're running because you love it, not because your identity depends on it. This perspective shift is liberating. Kipchoge can handle the immense pressure of world record attempts and Olympic finals because running, while incredibly important to him, is not the only thing that defines him. He's a husband, a father, a farmer, a reader, a thinker. Running is part of his life, not the entirety of it. You need that same balance. It will make you a better runner and a healthier, happier person. There's one more piece to this lesson. Kipchoge talks constantly about positivity and gratitude. He's grateful for the ability to run. He's grateful for his health, his team, his opportunities. He doesn't complain. He doesn't make excuses. Even when things go wrong, he finds the lesson and the positive. After the only marathon he ever dropped out of, the 2020 London Marathon where he finished 8th, he didn't spiral into negativity. He analyzed what went wrong, adjusted, and came back to win the Tokyo Olympics the next year. That's resilience born from a positive mindset. Gratitude and positivity aren't just feel-good ideas. They're performance enhancers. When you're grateful, you appreciate the journey. When you're positive, you handle setbacks better. When you believe in yourself, you achieve more. Start practicing gratitude for your running. Before each run, take a moment to appreciate that you have a healthy body that can move. After hard workouts, instead of focusing on what went wrong, acknowledge what went right. This mental shift changes everything. Let me bring all 5 lessons together because they're interconnected. Discipline gets you out the door consistently. Process focus keeps you present and performing your best. Community supports and motivates you. Patience allows for long-term growth. Balance and positivity make the journey sustainable and joyful. This is the Kipchoge formula. It's not about being genetically gifted, though he certainly is talented. It's about embodying principles that create excellence. The beautiful thing is, these principles work at every level. A 20-minute 5K runner can apply them. A 4-hour marathoner can apply them. A beginner just starting out can apply them. The principles are universal because they're about mindset, approach, and consistency, not about speed. Kipchoge has shown us that no human is limited. Not because we can all run a sub-2-hour marathon, but because we can all push beyond what we think is possible if we embrace the right principles and do the work. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one of these 5 lessons and commit to implementing it this week. If discipline is your weakness, create a schedule and stick to it no matter what. If you're too outcome-focused, practice process thinking during your next run. If you're isolated, reach out and find a running partner or group. If you're impatient, zoom out and commit to a long-term view. If you're out of balance, schedule a rest day and enjoy life outside of running. Just pick one and start. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. Small, consistent changes compound into massive transformation over time. That's the Kipchoge way. What's it going to be for you? Which lesson are you going to implement first? Comment below right now and make your commitment public. When you write it down, you're more likely to follow through. And if this video has given you value, hit that like button so more runners can discover these lessons from the GOAT. Eliud Kipchoge once said, 100% of me is nothing compared to 1% of the whole team. He understands that greatness isn't achieved alone. It's achieved through discipline, community, patience, process, and balance. These aren't secrets. He talks about them openly in interviews and documentaries. The difference is, most people hear them but don't apply them. Don't be most people. Be someone who takes wisdom and turns it into action. Be someone who learns from the best and implements their lessons. Be someone who, years from now, looks back and realizes that the shift started here, with the decision to train like Kipchoge trains. Not with his mileage or his speed, but with his principles and his mindset. That's available to you right now. The question is, will you take it? Here's what I need from you before you go. First, leave a comment telling me which of these 5 lessons resonated most with you and why. I read every comment and I genuinely want to know what landed for you. Second, smash that like button if Kipchoge's wisdom inspired you. It helps this content reach more runners who need to hear it. Third, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell because I'm constantly creating content that will make you a smarter, stronger, more inspired runner. And finally, I've got another video ready for you that breaks down the perfect marathon training plan used by elite coaches around the world. Click the video on your screen right now and keep learning. Eliud Kipchoge has shown us what's possible when discipline meets passion meets consistency. Now it's your turn to show yourself what you're capable of. Get out there and run with purpose. I'll see you on the roads.